I would imagine if you watch chimps in the jungle and then all of a sudden they started to figure out bombs, you'd be like, okay, we might want to go tell these chimps not to fucking blow each other up. I mean, it's an absurd premise, but if a chimp figured out a nuclear bomb, I think we'd step in. I think we'd say, hey, dude, no. You're gonna kill everything. Now, if you're infinite, like, we're not that removed from chimps. What do we share? Like 98% of their DNA?
Yeah.
And we're only removed from them by what? A few million years from a nearest cousin? That's not that long, right? So you could imagine something that's infinitely more intelligent looking at us exactly the way we'd look at a chimp with a nuclear bomb. Like, hey. And which... You know, my club is called the Comedy Mothership, and we designed it. It's all UFO themed, and the rooms are Fat Man and Little Boy. Yeah. And the reason why I named it that, because that was the beginning of all the UFO sightings in the country. Yeah. Like, those bombs sort of set off the alarm for the universe. Oh, the monkeys have a bomb.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this a while ago. I remembered I was talking to someone... And they said, yeah, I'm not worried about this. Are you not worried about the fact that AI could become more intelligent than us? What is it going to be like when we're not the smartest things on the planet, which might be just a few years from now? And I might be quite relieved because I'm not sure they could fuck it up at the level that we are fucking it up. You know, so it's...
You would have to give it legitimate sentience. Like, it would have to be completely independent from any ideology, and it would have to look at things completely objectively. But imagine a government that is run that way. Like, really run in a way where there is an actual distribution of resources for all the human beings on the planet, so poverty is instantaneously eradicated. You give electricity and clean water to everyone on Earth immediately. Immediately, we figure out how to distribute healthy food. Immediately, all the toxins and preservatives that have been giving people cancer, immediately they're removed from the human diet. They immediately make sure that we have no polluting of rivers, that we're not draining all the fish out of the ocean. Immediately change all of the treaties about nuclear weapons. All the nuclear weapons got to go. This AI government just runs over everything.
I imagine they'd say that immediately.
Dictators. Yeah, no more dictators. Cut the shit with the dictator. We're just going to let human beings exist in harmony, guided by this super intelligent, godlike thing that we've created out of silicone.
Yeah, honestly, I've had the same thought. And
that's the utopian view.
Yeah, and so I have thought, how could it be worse? In fact, it could be significantly better. But, yeah.
AI gets fucked with by people, right? And the AI we've seen so far has all the greasy fingerprints of human emotion and illogical. Like when Google released their AI, they asked them to show photographs, create images, rather, of Nazi soldiers. So they did a diverse group of Nazi soldiers, including an African-American woman, an Asian woman, a Native American woman with braids was a Nazi. The whole it's so nuts because it's like, okay, somebody fucked with this. This doesn't make any sense. You can't do that because if you get a virus, an illogical virus that somehow or another gets into AI and it's unchecked, if AI isn't completely logical and objective and sentient and basing it just entirely on what's best for the human race, then you just have a superpower that you have control over, and then you can decide, like, no more abortions. You can decide exactly.
Well, and as you said, what the definition of what is best is a moral decision that we make.
But you could make some distinctions in terms of like allocation of resources. Like you could make some. If I was a super intelligence and I looked at Earth, I'd say, listen, a lot of people are not going to like this. But there's a reality. There's the reason why you're worried about the border, because people are sneaking in, is because other parts of the world are fucking terrible. So that needs to be cleaned up. That needs to be fixed. We need to figure out how to raise, instead of spending money on blowing people up, let's spend all this money to raise up all of civilization so there's no more third world.
Well, that's one of the arguments. Have you I spoke to Robert Zubrin, who I know wrote these wonderful books called about colonizing space. And so he's a fascinating character. And I spoke to him once, and he made this very simple argument that, as you said, one of the problems we have is competition for resources. And of course, the competition for resources is now so extreme that it's not only wars that it creates and always has, but it's also, of course, we damage the planet if we over-exploit the resources and so on, right? So you've got this problem about resources. And he's right. He would say this is the number one motivation for going up, because there are, in fact, infinite resources out there.
Right.
And so once you begin to have access to the asteroids and access to Mars and beyond, you can imagine a world where you alleviate that pressure.
And ladies, I want to tell you, there's a planet out there bigger than Earth that's all diamonds.
There are diamond planets. There's unlimited.
Isn't that
nature's
insane?
Imagination
But
far
that
exceeds our own.
isn't it like several times larger than Earth, and it's an entire diamond?
Yeah, and I think it's Neptune or Uranus that we think has diamonds in it. So,
oh my goodness.
And
diamonds are only valuable because we decide they're valuable.
Yeah.
It's kind of the De Beers people are brilliant. They like lock them all up. They're like, oh, this is really hard to get.
They're good for drill bits as well, but we can make them for drill.
But this
bits,
is the interesting thing.